Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Monday morning, a little bit ominous here in northern England. On this bright and breezy Monday morning, I'm going to do a follow-up to yesterday's video. If you didn't see yesterday's video, it might be worth your while stopping this one and going watching that one before you come back to this. It's up to you. I don't mind which order you watch them in, but it just might make more sense if you didn't see yesterday's video that you watch that first, because I'm not going to go into explaining the source code and Unix time and stuff like that again, because I did that yesterday. So in yesterday's video I talked about the rumour that's going round that Summer wasn't at the swimming hole that we all know. She wasn't really there. She was at another part called Fort Henry Dam. People in my Facebook group have been talking about this. There was a couple of active threads as of yesterday. I haven't checked yet today because it's still very early. There was some misinformation posted in my group, and I wonder whether that misinformation was on purpose or whether it was an honest mistake. It matters to me because it's my group. Obviously, I'm not responsible for the things that people post in my group, unless I'm the one that's posting them, obviously. But still, I think it's important that these kind of things get debunked, because, you know, my group's reasonably big. It's got 6.5k followers now, and if things are being posted in my group, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're also being posted in other groups that are covering summer wells. I don't know whether they are or not, because I'm not in any other groups that cover summer wells. I'm not in a lot of Facebook groups at all. I'm in a Michael Vaughan group, I'm in a Serenity McKinney group, but mine is the only one that I watch in relation to summer wells. So when things get posted, like the milk jugs video was really taken in April, and Candice posted it and then deleted it, or they weren't really at the swimming hole, they were at Fort Henry Dam. I've got to talk about these things, right? So the misinformation comes from the fact that the screenshot that I'd seen before and discounted because there was no date on it, back in the early days that was, there's now another screenshot that shows the actual date. Some kind person posted this in my group, and did the original poster not know about the fact that that screenshot had been cropped so that you can't see the date of the actual post? So this is the actual post. It was made on Facebook, and this person was sharing one of Candice's posts, and they were sharing that on the 17th of June, so just 2 days after Summer disappeared. So then what you notice from the conversation between Candice and her friend is that on the 17th of June, that conversation took place 3 weeks ago. So that means they were actually at Fort Henry Dam at the end of May, not June. And certainly 100% disproves that this screenshot is referring to them being possibly at Fort Henry Dam on June 15th. So there's that. Another thing alongside this conversation was the swimming hole video, really, from June 15th. She posted it on TikTok, and as I said yesterday, based on the create time in the source code, it was 12:34 p.m. and 30 seconds, June 15th. That's an absolute, because I got that directly from the source code. Now, as people have rightly pointed out, that doesn't say when the video was taken, because you can upload a pre-recorded video to TikTok. Yes, you can, I've done it myself, but it's easier to put the effects on and stuff if you've just shot a video directly from the TikTok app, and then you put your effects on, you put the music on, and you post it. Now, as I said yesterday, I've heard from a couple of creators that the video was taken at 12:21. So that makes sense. If it was taken at 12:21, Candice messed about with it, put the effects on, found the music, and then uploaded it. And the create time, the upload time is 12:34 and 30 seconds. So that makes sense, doesn't it? Also, the time that the person who was making these claims said the visit to Walgreens to give the prescription in was at 1 p.m. and then they picked it up at 1:26 p.m. So did they have enough time to go to the swimming hole, shoot a video and come back to pick up the prescription at 1:26? And I asked people, what do they recall from Chris McDonough? And some kind person in my group has given me the exact timestamp. So here, this is what Chris said.
She was out all, with Mom. And by the way, I have confirmation that they were in, Grandma and Candace were in one of the local stores. And so, and I've got it from a couple different stores. And I've kind of got a good timeline of, when, based on the 911 call, that is, public information, as well as, kind of piecing it back to when they believe they saw them in the store. Okay. And one of them was where the prescriptions were filled up. Okay. And that timeline is narrowed down to about 1:33 p.m.
Now, of course, this is Chris's word, and he didn't provide any receipts. So this is only Chris's word for it. But the poster in my group who was saying, no, this wasn't, this possibly negates the swimming hole, wasn't showing any receipts and was just saying the information was from Chris McDonough. Well, this is the information from Chris McDonough.
One of them was where the prescriptions were filled up, okay? And that timeline is narrowed down to about 1:33 p.m.
The prescription pick-up time, fill-out time, was 1:33 p.m. So that makes absolute sense. The video at the swimming hole was at 12:34 and 30 seconds, so they played around there for a while. By the time they got, Summer changed and made the journey back, waited in the line at Walgreens, it was 1:33, perfect timing. And then they were back at H's between 2 and 2:30. I think it's closer to 2:30 because they went to Priceless, they went and got slushies, didn't they, from Sonic. So arriving back at H's around 2:30 makes sense. So the timeline of the day, why are we disputing it at this stage? Why? Are people just spreading deliberate misinformation? Or is this genuine concern that what Candice said about parts of the day are incorrect? But no, they're not incorrect. Law enforcement will have, obviously, the ability to look, as I did, for the create time of any video that was posted on Candice's social media in the source code. But as they've cloned Candice's phone, they'll also have the originals of the videos when they were taken. I'd love to get my hands on one of those original videos, or at least see a screenshot of the original taken time. I think that will quell this problem once and for all. But in the absence of that, I'm sure in my mind that this misinformation has been debunked. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is I caught part of a live stream on Benny Keyz' channel that was going on overnight my time. And I didn't catch the beginning, and I haven't had time to watch to the end. So this is just a snapshot of what I heard, but it was interesting. And he had Scott E. Skullz on panel. Scott E. Skullz, not Scott H, because some people are getting the two confused. Scott E. Skullz was the guy who recently drove to Tennessee to go all around this way and that way, down the hollers, down the roads, to the swimming hole, where he said the water is shallow and clear. But yeah, there's that. So that's Scott E. Skullz. And Jenny from Gavel Geeks. She partners with Crime and Mama on Crime and Mama's channel. And I like Jenny. She's no drama. And she, she wants to get to the facts. Scott said that he'd been down Simpson Road and he made some comments about where the scent alerts were. Now, I don't know how he knows this. I don't know whether it's because he's spoken to neighbours while he was out there, or whether this is just a rumour that isn't true, that he's heard. So don't state this as fact, anybody. I'm just reiterating what he said. But he said he believed that there was scent alert, where we know there was a scent alert from a live scent tracking dog looking specifically for summer scent in the grassy area down Ben Hill Road, further down than the Wells or Geordie Sue's, where Geordie Sue used to live. But he also said there was a scent alert on one of those cutouts where the trees have been removed so that power lines can get through, the hill to the houses. And these are kept clear permanently. And there's lots of them. There's lots of them all around that hill. And I've said previously that it's quite possible that the kids use these tracks, these cleared out tracks, to play on and to, move from one area to another. They're perfect, and kids might go on, the brothers might have been going on their dirt bikes down these tracks. And he said there was a scent alert past Simpson Road along one of these tracks. And then he said there was more alerts going towards Beach Creek Road. Now, it's my understanding that the two footprint areas that were found, one was on an address on Beach Creek Road, and then the other was on an address on Simpson Road. On the map, I've just dropped the pins in the general area, the map I use. And I'm not saying that the footprints were in these exact locations. I could be, a quarter of a mile off, because these areas are just general. And one of the neighbours doesn't want to be identified. But I've always said that there's possibly a lot more scent alerts in that area than what we've heard, because neighbours talk. Does it mean they're always telling the truth? No, because it could be a case of Chinese whispers. But I think one thing that is important is that in that local vicinity, it is known that there were scent alerts. And they can't all be just making them up for absolutely no reason, can they? The very, very early days in that first week, one of the neighbours went on social media and said that footprints had been found with summer scent on them. Why would they lie? I can't see any reason why they would. Dave Rader talked about that search that went into the night, the 19th into the 20th of June, because that's when they'd found the series of footprints, and they were concerned that Summer was there. Does that mean that Summer was abducted and moved around that area on June 15th? Possibly. But it could also mean that, as people have said, Sherfey Sr has said, that the kids, including Summer, were in the road, and his girlfriend lives on Simpson Road, so the kids were up and down Simpson Road, probably gone up the power line track on Simpson Road, playing there, maybe on the bikes or running about, and Summer was with them. Jose also said that they had to go and look for Summer, because she often absconded. She was just one of those kids that elopes, because probably they find it fun. So could it be that she did just that on the 15th and then got abducted, or some other untold horror befell her? Yeah, absolutely. But could those scent dogs be picking up scent that's days old and she was there in the days preceding? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just as likely, honestly. Finally, Jenny said, what is it about Don Sherfey Jr that everybody's going on about? And I've made several videos about Don Sherfey Jr, and the reason why he's on my suspect list is because he was never questioned at the time. His dad admitted this, that he was never questioned. So all the local RSOs, including Frank Light, have been looked into. That's one of the first things that law enforcement does when a kid goes missing. You know, they try their best to get alibis and the whereabouts of all the local RSOs. So I have to have some faith that they've done that and that they've excluded Frank Light. His registered address is just on the next holler to the east, Grady Light Road. So it's very, very close to the wells. But even his ex-wife rang law enforcement about him because she was concerned. I have to have faith in law enforcement that they've checked him and the other local RSOs. But Don Sherfey Jr, no, that was never done. I hope they've spoken to him now. He's still going through the court system. His case for aggravated child exploitation was bound over by General Sessions to the grand jury on August 31st, 2021. He'd actually been arrested in May 2021 for the possession of over 1,000 images of child P. He's had several court appearances with 14 counts sitting there on his record. He was in court in April, that's been continued, and he's got a new court date. But the important thing is he was out on bond. Was he out on bond with an ankle tag is the question. People think not. It's likely he didn't have one. If he had an ankle tag, then, you know, yeah, there's ways to fool an ankle tag, but if he had an alibi via his ankle tag that could be checked out, I'd be happy with that. But at the moment, he's still there high up on my suspect list because he wasn't interviewed at the time. He was out on bond, even though there's no record of him conducting contact offence, that these are all child P. We do know that some people who start off with child P, especially those aggravated cases, do go on to offend in a contactful way. They do go on to commit a contact offence. How do we know that Summer wasn't that first contact offence? So that's why he's on my suspect list. I can't discount him, and he's a big concern. Because his dad stays at Simpson Road, very, very close to the wells. He was the guy who questioned the Heels on the Ground people when they were there in January. So he's there regularly. I can't discount him, and until law enforcement gives us some information on who they've actually interviewed, then he's going to stay on my suspect list. But does it mean that he abducted Summer? No, that's just one possibility. Summer might not have even been out there on June 15th. She could have been out there spreading her scent all over that area in the days preceding. What happened to Summer could have absolutely happened when she got home, actually on the property itself. She could have. As Grandma's story to Ziggy says, she could have been ill. She could possibly have never got out of the truck, and she was taken to Don. That's an absolute possibility. As I discussed the other day, I can't discount that story. I wish it had been recorded. I wish Ziggy had found a way to record it, but still, that story is out there and the FBI are aware of it. So, those are just some thoughts and just some follow-ups from previous videos. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I've been Michelle, hope you're well. See you in the next video. Goodbye from Miss Tillington and Miss Cassie Springer. Bye guys.